The Bible says, moreover, brothers, we make known to you the grace of God, bestowed on the churches of Macedonia, that in a great trial of affliction, the abundance of their joy, their deep poverty abounds, and the riches of their liberality. For I bear witness that according to their abilities, yes, the young in their abilities, they were freely willing, employing us with much urgency, and we would receive the gift and the fellowship of the ministry to the saints. 5. 2 Corinthians 8. Can somebody else? 5.
For though I cause you sorrow by my letter, do not regret it. I think I'm on 8.
8, 5.
I was on 7.
I've been in the hospital until now, so.
That is not as we had expected. They first gave themselves to the Lord and to us by the will of God. So we urged Titus that he had previously made a beginning, so he could also complete in you this gracious work as well. But just as you abound in everything, in faith and utterance and knowledge, and all earnestness and love and inspired in you, see that you abound in this gracious work also.
8.
I speak not by commandment, but by occasion of the forwardness of others, and to prove the sincerity of the love. For you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though he was rich, yet for the sakes, for your sakes, he became poor, that you through his poverty might be rich. 10.
And here I give my advice, for this is expedient for you who have begun not only to do, but also to be forwarded a year ago. Now therefore, from the hearing of it, there was a readiness to will, so there may be a promise also out of their wisdom which he had.
12. Grace. 12. Grace.
For if there be first a wicked mind, in is accepted according to that a man hath, and not according to that he hath not. For I mean not that other men be eased, and yet burdened, for they are and departed, that now at this time your abundance may be supplied for their want, that their abundance also may be supplied for your want, that they may be equally.
15.
As it is written, he that hath gathered much had nothing over, and that hath gathered little had no lack. But thanks be to God, which put the same earnest care into the heart of Titus for you.
17. Jim.
For indeed he accepted the exhortation, but being moved forward of his own accord, he went to you. And we have sent him with the brother, whose praise is in the gospel throughout all the churches. And not that only, but who was also chosen of the churches to travel with us with this grace, which is administered by us to the glory of the same Lord, in declaration of your ready mind.
And then I says, and we would go on, but there's no need. So what I'm going to do is go back. I says, and looking at our verses, this is where we're at. We stopped at 1. We went to 2. We started to break down certain thoughts, that in the grace of trials and afflictions, the abundance of their joy, and their deep poverty abounds in the riches of their liberties, or liberalities. The question then is, then what would be liberalities? And I call myself putting down what liberalities, I got to put it down here, what liberalities mean is on page 2 of your documentation. Page 2 of your documentation. Are you on? Go ahead. And they gave liberty.
Yeah, right. They gave them,
They gave liberty, right?
Good morning.
yeah, that's
The word liberality means singleness of mind, sincerely with an open and free heart. The churches of Macedonia determined to open their hearts and give all they could. They gave beyond their ability. They willingly gave. No special appeal had to be made. No pressure had to be executed. They gave freely and readily.
When I look at this, what do you see that they gave? And back into your text, it says,
and they're,
okay, so then we can't repeat the same thing that we just read because they gave liberty. What is liberty? Because that was the question, not what they did. But, so what is liberty?
They gave up themselves.
They gave what?
Themselves.
So you said they gave themselves, right? Look at your text in verse 4. I'm going to look at your Bible, and verse 4 says what?
bring us the much entreaty that we should receive and take upon us the fellowship of the ministry to the saints.
So then,
That's not a
I know, I'm so glad that, sorry, but Fred's not here because it's so hard for him to have all these different translations thrown at him and he's trying to learn. I said, and I've said, if it's God's will, I'm going to see if we can get Bibles where we'll all be able to, if nothing else, leave in this room. I says, where we can all go into New King James and we can all read from the same book. That way it won't be so hard on him.
Can we put it on order on it for a moment?
Not sure. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they mentioned it last Sunday.
But Lenny, you told Lenny already.
I told Lenny.
Right.
Yeah. Now, whether Lenny has done it, but I told her. Yeah. I will check with Lenny and see if it's done. Because I told her nothing else, just give it up for just one particular class.
Yeah.
I said, and then we could always lock the books or put the books back up when it's over with. But anyway, so we've got liberality. And so he says, and then I told you all, well, look at verse 3, and then we'll go on. He says, for I bear witness that according to their abilities, yes, and beyond their ability, they were freely, willingly, employing us with much urgency, that we would receive a gift, the fellowship of the ministry to the saints. I heard Tiffany say themselves. I've pulled, if you look at the Dioma, you see it says baby. Sit in your paper. Dioma says baby, right?
Yeah, is a strong word meaning to implore or to plead. It is used in Luke 5:12 of a leper who implored Jesus to heal him, and Luke 9:38 of a father's desperate plea for Jesus to cast the demon out of his son, and in 2 Corinthians 5:20, begging sinners to be reconciled to God. The phrase with much urging could be translated most insistently and further testifies to the intensity of the Macedonians' desire to contribute.
So then we go farther into it. It says that they gave themselves. See anything? They gave themselves
They
to the
gave-
Lord first.
This is the most striking verse and point. What it means is this: These dear believers gave all they were and had to the Lord. They used this occasion, the occasion of an offering, the occasion when they were asked to help others, to rededicate their lives and possessions to Christ. Note that this involved 3 steps: the dedication of their lives to Christ, all they were; the dedication of their possessions to Christ, all they had; the dedication of themselves to the minister, Paul, in order to serve by his side and to allow them all to serve Christ together.
So ask yourself, where do you fit? Ask yourself, where do you fit in this? And you be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to be right there.
Okay. And so you got to try. Go ahead.
Well, in regards to, what I read in the scripture, the Lord is telling us to do. First of all, He wants us to be good stewards. And that is that the love of the words. Okay, I'm sorry. That's okay, word. I said, first of all, if you go into the word, I think the Lord wants us to be good stewards with what He provides for us. And that can be financial, not just financial, but whatever. And if you're not a good steward with what you have, how can you help someone else?
Right.
Because you don't have it.
Amen.
In my life, and I look at it as a blessing with my family, my husband. We were blessed to get a lot of things. Were we good stewards? Now I look back at it, no. Because you don't have to have a Bentley, or you don't have to live in a certain place. It's what you want.
But you are.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, because I have no problem. I don't even envy people. I mean, every day I see Teslas all around me. I say, yeah, that's a nice car. But I'm not buying it, because at this point, for me, that would not be a good steward of what the Lord has blessed. That's all it is. And, not only that, you see people that need, and you maybe can't cure homelessness, but you can do what you can do.
Yeah.
But if you don't, we have to. I think it's on the church. However, it's everybody together. But in regards to you, if you don't steward or control yourself in your spending or whatever you do, you won't have it together. That's not personal testimony. That's a testimony.
So then let's get back to the text. And the text is very clear as a bell. He says, look at your 3. He says, employing us with much urgency that we would receive together. And the fellowship of the ministry to the saints. He didn't say, try to do it. He didn't say, maybe you do it. He didn't say, put it on to somebody else to do it.
Right.
He said, and this is the issue. And that's why I said, I'm listening to these thoughts. These thoughts all lean towards what you would do. Right. Yes, go ahead.
You gotta go back to verse 2.
Go ahead.
That in their great, that in the trial of great afflictions,
That's where I'm going.
and abundance of
That's where I'm going.
See, they had in deep poverty, abounding in riches. They had a lot going on.
Right.
And usually when you're in that situation,
You don't.
kind of selfish. You're not really
You
trying
don't.
to help people.
So then listen to you, Dwight, then this erases everything of what we may think. It erases this. It's not a matter then I try to do, it's a matter of I do. It's not a matter of, well, I'm counting on the church to step up and to take care of. We work as a as a union. We work together. It's not built on that. It's built on you do. It's just, like you said, Brother Thompson, it's an individual. It's not, let me tell you what we did, let me tell you what's going on. It's not none of that. It's the right hand not knowing what the left hand is doing. It is, here is a need, I will meet it. It's just that simple. And I said, what we can do is we can counter it with all kinds of thoughts on what we think would be acceptable. We can say to the Lord, you know, Lord, I'm trying to get there. I've always made this statement. I remember seeing a bumper sticker, and it says, be patient with me, for God is not finished with me yet. And then my statement is, so when does he finish you? And hear me, so when does he finish you? And watch this, and the finish, is that in a pine box? When is he finished with you? Because that would be when God is finished with me, that would mean I'm in a pine box. Now I'm finished. So then, we need to remove, just like Paul is dealing with the Corinthian church, but he's bringing to light what you said, the Macedonian church. And in bringing the Macedonians, the attention of the Macedonians, he is bringing to their attention, did you say in trials and they're in poverty? Did you say they're in poverty? You know what, I would give, but you know, I got this to do, and you know, and I'm going to try next week to improve on this or improve on that. Do you hear what you're saying? Because that's not what they did. What they did was, hey, this is what I have. Look at my paper again. I want you to see this, and I know that's why I asked that, because this is leaning to everybody else or leaning to somebody we need to do. You know, we all need to do something. When this is not built on this. Look at it, I got you down to the bottom. Look at those bullet points. I says the dedication of their lives to Christ. See this? This is first of all. This is the issue. The issue is dedication. The issue is how dedicated are you? What is it that you know that you will do even if you're sick? What is it that you will do? Just in general. What is it that you will do even if you're sick? No, you won't. What is it that you do in general? In general. No, in general. That's why I made this statement, in general.
I came here.
Yeah, that's you. See, now you're making it personal again. I'm not trying to do that. And you're making it a you thing when I'm not trying to make it a you thing. Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to keep it open. I'm not making it a you thing. Yes, you know what you're doing. So it's not a reflection on you. See what I'm saying? It's not on you. So then, listen to what's going on here. The dedication. I said the word, the terminology is dedication. How dedicated are you? I made this statement because I was waiting to hear, this is what I was waiting to hear, baby. Job. I'll go to work. This is what I was waiting to hear. You see what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. Oh, I'm going to go off. Okay. But this is what I was saying. It's at your job. How many times have you went to your job sick? Huh? You better know it. That's why I said we can play this game if we want to. But I know I went sick. I know you went sick. I know all of us, when you were at a job, you went sick. And watch this. And it wasn't based on, well, they're going to terminate me if I don't come. It was, you were sick, but you said, I got to get up and get down here. It wasn't built on, well, this is a must. If I don't make it, they're going to fire me. It wasn't built on that. You know what it was built on? Dedication. No, it was built on your dedication. That's what it was built on. Whether you like it or not, it was built on dedication. Because you say, well, I need to get, no, somebody said money. Let me say this. I don't know about where you worked at, but I get sick leave. You see what I'm saying? I have some sick leave. You see what I'm saying? So wait a minute. So it wasn't built on, well, because, I'm going to get fired. No, because you have sick leave. Then what was it built on? Dedication. Watch this. Let's go independent. Because there we go. I'm pointing at him. Let's go independent. Independent. You got it when you're sick. You still got it when you're sick. Well, let's see. I know I need the money. Yes, but you're sick. So why don't you recover? Why don't you recover? Or why don't you wait till you recover? Because of your dedication. There's a job that needs to be done. Dwayne says, you don't understand. I didn't get that plumbing done. I didn't finish that, putting that sink in. And I need to get that sink in. Well, watch this. That's what it should be. Hello. I'm trying to give a wake-up call. Here's the wake-up call. This is what it should be. God should be number one. God ain't number one. This is the reality. God isn't number one.
But you're not speaking.
Watch this. But watch this. Well, I'm hoping that there is a change. Because even if we start to talk about dedication and you in my face saying you're dedicated, I can prove you aren't. I can prove you aren't. Did you hear me? Every last one of you, I can prove you aren't. But watch this. But you can get there. You can get there. That's where he's at with this letter. You can get there. But he uses somebody that truly, or watch this, a city that truly understands, a people that truly understands what it means to be dedicated. It's almost like I have nothing else to give, so why not give this? I'm already poor. What you mean? And if I give this away, that's going to make me poor? Please. I'm already down. Yeah, but God, that way you already, you know what I'm saying? So, I better just hold on to this. No, you don't. You say, what the heck? Take that too. I mean, it's gotten to that point. This is where, stop and think about it. Here's your Macedonian church that's poor. Your Bible said it, didn't it? Said they're in poverty. Said they're in poverty. So since they are in poverty, then the thought needs to, we need to, that's why I put this here. It looks like, shame on that Corinthian church. I'm proud of the Macedonian church. When do we be proud of Westchester? When could Paul take Westchester and put it in? Could we have been put in this letter? That's where I'm at. Could we have been put in this letter and said, now the Westchester Church of Christ, they fellowship together. They're dedicated towards God. They make God number one. I said, here's the next thought. I know y'all don't like me picking on you, but here's the next thought. You're not late for your job. Here's the next thought. You're not late for your job. Oh, wait. Let me prove my point. Because you're late one or two times, boss ain't coming after you. Come on, let's get real. But if you're okay. Watch this. My pattern with the Lord is late. It is a pattern that we set. Hear me, it is a pattern that we set. I know this is hurting some of us, but it is a pattern that we set. We won't do it for the job, but we'll do it for God, because He's supposed to be number one. God is number one. But I can't be late, but I can be late for him. But my job, I can't be late for. Y'all see where I'm coming from? I'm just, you see what I'm saying? Right, I'm just dealing with things that if you really weigh these things out, that's why I said, what is dedication? What does it really mean to be dedicated? And all I'm doing is just making you think on some things. Ask yourself. If it don't apply to you, then it don't apply to you. That's okay. Yes.
Besides that, you feel incredibly religious.
Okay. Well, I don't know, like I said, and that's what, because that's not my intention. All my intention is to do is to bring something to your attention. Ask yourself, where do you stand with the Lord? What if this was the day that He called us home? What if this was the day? What if that was the post that He smeared? You know the doorpost that He smeared? And you know when Christ, and that angel came at a certain time.
Right.
You hear me? Came at a certain time. What if, you came in and it's smeared, and you came, but it's a little late? Will I open the door? What if Noah, back in the days of Noah, how's that one sound? When the ark, when he was telling everybody that they need to go. But you had those, believe it or not, they're called, I know that's a hard one to swallow. But really what it is you don't believe that God is who He is. For those that are in that class last Sunday, God is a God of order. I made that clear as bell, didn't I? You could really see it. It was, oh my God. It was clear as a bell. Now I see what you're talking about.
He is the same.
He's a God of order. So since if He's a God of order, then don't you think He wants us in order? Something to think about. So then if this is the case, look at your dedication. I said, dedication of their lives. I heard Tiffany say, give of ourselves. We must be careful with this one. Because so often do we think we're giving of ourselves because we did something. But get out of routine. Because first of all, your works will not get you saved. That's first of all. So then if that's the issue, yes, dear.
When I think of giving of yourself, I'm thinking like emotionally, mentally.
That's it.
Just all
That's
around.
it. So you got everything in common. So really what you're doing is you're going to Deuteronomy, the 5th chapter. All you're really doing is saying that God has said what? He says, I give me your what? Your heart, your soul, and your mind. He said, this is what He said. He said that this is the only way you can serve me. You don't realize it. You think you can half-heart serve me and still think you're going to get into heaven. When God is saying, you don't get it. I don't read your external. I read your internal. See, I read your thoughts. And your thoughts today say, hallelujah, praise His holy name, so let me get down there. But your thoughts tomorrow, when things have went sour in your life, then you're struggling. My wife witnessed something today with me. I said, and that's probably what you might be hearing, a little frustration. But I says, I got up, I got everything ready. I got ready to go put on a certain pair of pants, and I done bought them at the wrong size. They're too short. I said, I can't believe this. I said, you're busy today. Let me go down here and get the board up, go get another. And then I can't find another pair, some more clothes. So anyway, I said, let me go down and get another. So I pull out another. And when I pull out the other, I bought them the wrong way, they too tight. I said, they had skinny stuff. I said, oh, no way in the world. I tossed them. The dogs still need to be walked. Come on, Jamal, you know what I'm talking about. The dogs still need to be walked. I'm looking at time, and time walk because it still ain't right. I said, it doesn't make sense. I go up into my closet and say, oh, here's a pair of black pants, throw them on, and keep going. I go get the dogs to go out. My wife was there. I go get the dogs to go out, and I said, you ain't gonna believe this. She said, what? I said, the pants I got on are purple. She didn't say nothing. I said, boy, you are busy. That's what was in my mind. You are busy. Satan, you're busy. You, prince of the air, you're busy. You're doing everything to distract me, but it's not going to work. I said, what is your next solution? Just go get a suit. Now you know suit, pants, and everything is in there. So just go get a suit. So I hurry up, go get it. Say, oh my goodness, now you got to get the shirt. I says, so hurry up. Just, it don't matter. There's no need in getting frustrated. Renee has already fixed breakfast. It's cold. I says, it doesn't matter. I says, eat it cold, but you've got to go because you have things that need to be done. But here's the beauty of this. That's why I said the ugliness of it would have said, man, the heck with this. But watch this. But the beauty of it was because of my dedication to this church. I had gotten up early enough that if I had problems, they can be fixed. Hear me? So then I didn't walk in, and this is not just this, but this is how I am, period. I don't walk into nobody's place late. This is how I am, period. This is my makeup. I says, not only do I not walk in late, but I don't walk in sour. Did you hear me? Two things that I've said concerning what I need to do. Guys, that's called dedication. Watch this. What has to take place? Why do you have to get down here? Well, I mean, nobody's here. So what if you set up the projector and remove the bulletins and move the chairs around? So what? What is your real reason for getting down here? To make sure I get into God's Word. Then I went into God's Word on my little computer, and for some reason or another, it don't want to work. I said, Lord mercy. But that's okay. I said, leave it alone. Still move on. Why? Because I said, this is what I'm talking about. When you dedicate yourself, you can overcome obstacles. You don't have to react. Hear me? You don't have to react. You're already in an advanced mode. You're already in an advanced mode. It's the ideal, too, of someone coming up to you and saying something that you don't like. You do not react. You ought to be proactive. What do you mean? Well, Jim said something horrible to me. So I need to, in return, by human nature, react to what he has said. But if I have been dedicated towards God, meaning this is something I read daily, meaning this is one that I take the time to pick up and make sure before I go out of the house that it has penetrated my heart. Meaning that as I go out, I'm still praying to God. I don't know where we go. I got me on my knees to pray. I'm still praying to God. So that when something so ugly, whether it's on the freeway and somebody cuts you off, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you don't react, you be proactive. You hear me?
God will control that mouth.
God help you. And God controls the mouth. How? because of your dedication.
Right.
That's how things are controlled. So then watch this. Then I've got your next one. I guess that's dedication, see it? Teresa, I don't know, if you don't have it, then Tiffany read. Dedication of their possession. See it?
Dedicate the dedication of their possessions to Christ.
Uh-huh.
All they had.
Well, but we don't give, but I give all. Do we?
All they had.
Do you hear me? It sounds like Acts the 2nd chapter, doesn't it? And what did the church do? They gave what? All they had. What we have used, once again, the world has used it. You got to be careful with people. You don't know, they can misuse you. They can do you wrong, so you got to be careful. You don't let everybody in your house. You got to be careful. You got a stranger to walk in and take everything. And that is falling into the Christian environment. When, watch this, we are to give all we have. Meaning, watch this. But that person could shoot us or could take everything. God also gives you wisdom. Don't you dare remove that. Don't you dare remove that. I mean, the guy I'm a thief on his forehead. He's got all his tools in the backpack. He's dragging them in. And you say, well, what you gonna do with them? Well, I'm finna rob you and I'm finna take your stove and your refrigerator, so I need this to take this. And then I got $1 because I'm finna take your chair. And then, and the gun I got in my backpack. And if you bother me, you're right, I'm gonna shoot you. Come on. God, you know. I'm saying, here we go. They gave all they had. You can give all you have when you give yourself. When you give, right there, when you give of yourself. You don't have a problem. And somebody said, but Brother Thompson, I notice you don't teach on giving. Because when you become dedicated, I don't have to teach on giving. Yeah. Yes, that's it. And it's just like I said in that class, which will, again, you're here today. Don't come in there if you're not going to empty yourself. Don't come in there if you got all these thoughts of what this means. Just go on. You're not teachable because you haven't emptied yourself. When you empty yourself, then you can learn because there's room to intake things. But if you come in there and talk about you got all the answers, then, or not even all the answers, if you come in with the attitude, then we do this once before, you still missed it. Just like, Dwayne, did you say when you were there, Lord, have mercy. Wow, now I've learned even more. But you have to have that attitude. If you don't, that's emptying yourself. When you can empty yourself, then God can use you. But if you've got any inkling of yourself still involved in this, it's going nowhere. So that's all they had. Jim, can you give her one of these? Casey. So then watch this. I don't know why she's over there. If you got that, come over here. Get on the board.
But one, you know what I'm saying?
So watch it.
But one, before you leave.
So,
She don't want to be around us.
You know another thing, Brother Morris, he used to say over and over, we talk about walking out faith, not by sight. And they said, well, what do they do with the money that they get? Learn about what happened to the funds of the church. And I'm not giving that because I don't even know what they're doing or what they did yet.
right.
And that's something people don't want to talk about. I'm not giving that because that's going to interfere with what I have to pay for this and that. You shouldn't have created so much credit. That's one thing I had to learn the hard way. You don't create a bunch of credit. You can't do anything.
You're right.
You can't do anything. I didn't get it. Well, what I was saying, another side of it, besides giving ourselves, he said the possession, and the people who think of possession, especially, they think about money, and they worry about what happened when we put in the
Oh, I got
What do they do with the money they have? Because we were walking by faith and not by sight. We didn't real, naturally think we had enough funds to keep going. And we did. We made it. You're here, Steve.
Yeah, exactly.
Westchester's still here.
Exactly. That's what I
That was a long discussion. You weren't even here, Bill.
So then guys, look one more. I want you to see the last bullet point. This is going to sum this up. The last bullet point says what?
The dedication of themselves to the minister, Paul, in order to serve by his side and allow them all to serve Christ altogether.
Did you see that?
Together.
What do you think I'm saying?
Support the minister.
Well, let me see. If he is your leader, then it's not what you think. Here's something that if we understood the minister, now if he ain't doing that, that's a different ballgame. If he ain't studying God's word, if his life doesn't reflect the gospel, am I wrong?
Amen.
Then you are gentlemen is following him. But Paul set a great example. Paul let them see you can be followers. 1 Corinthians 11 chapter. I want you to just see this. So when you get to 1 Corinthians 11 chapter, you got it, 1? 1 Corinthians 11 chapter, 1. And go slow. Let me see if you will say it right. Because I might need to do it. Well, the other times I'm reading. But go ahead.
11 chapter, what verse? I'm sorry.
1. Says what? Go ahead.
Now I praise you.
Wait. Go out of country.
Paul, be imitators of me.
Stop.
Imitate of me.
How did yours read?
Be ye followers of me.
How's everybody else read? Huh? What's that key word in there?
Follow.
First Corinthians.
What is that key word up there?
Follow.
One. Said what?
You're imitators.
Imitators, followers. I don't care however direction we go. But I want you to see that Paul made that statement, the imitators of what?
Me.
Can I imitate you? Mama, hold on. Can I imitate you? Can I imitate you because you don't realize it? Some are imitating you. I come late. I followed you. I don't come. You show me. You weren't that interested. So why should I? Did you hear me? You don't realize it. This is a church. A church is a what? Is a what? Called out body of people, right? It's a called out body of people. Watch this, that follow Christ, right? But here's the example. Because when we stop and think about it, can we do what Christ did? Absolutely not. So then, because Christ was what? Perfect. Sinless. But watch this. Paul was not perfect. And he was a sinner. But Paul says, follow. See that? Me. He says, follow me. We will finish it down. But he says, follow me. That's why I asked the question. Can I look? Watch this. You think, well, in the church, well, they need me. Watch this. I don't have to. I don't have to be at your home. You show me how you do things here. You set a pattern for me here. That's exactly what he's talking about. Where's the example? Where's it? You know what? My mate won't come. Well, what do they see? What do they see? Watch this. It's even in the home. After all, if it's your mate and they're with you daily, what do they see? Do they see Christ in you? Or do they just see somebody that says, this is something I have to do, so let me get up and do it? This is routine. That's what I meant by routine. This is routine. Do I just routinely do things? Do they see a transformation in me? Do they see me changing? Or am I just routine? This is something I do. You see what I'm talking about? And you say, well, but nobody's following me. You'd be surprised who's looking at you. You'd be surprised who thinks something of you. You'd be surprised. In this church, you'd be surprised. A lot of times you're looking at an adult and maybe a child. They may be looking at you and saying, wow, I want to do the same thing. And they watch, the only pattern they have is fear. That's the only pattern they have is fear. I told you when I started, I know this lesson will be a little hard, but you need to examine yourselves and ask yourselves. You see, always start with your job, your own time. I even picked on Dwayne and said, even from an independent standpoint, but you're there. I says, now you have to ask yourself, where is your dedication? It's easy to say, I'm dedicated to the Lord. It's easy to say that. Just like it's easy to say I'm a Christian. It's easy to say I'm a Christian. You've heard me dwell on this for about almost a month. The elect will be saved. Do you know what the elect is? I'm hoping you. Did you hear me? I'm hoping you are the elect. But the elect has the ability to dedicate themselves where they are a pattern for others to see. One thing about it, if I come late, Dwayne's on the phone, Jim's on the phone. Am I right? Am I right? Why? Because something's wrong. So what are you saying? Because I've broken a pattern. See what I'm saying? Because that pattern's been broken. Something's wrong here. That's why I said in your Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, Paul says, be imitators of me as I am of Christ. Paul says what I do is, you know what? You want to learn about Christ and learn it through me. Guys, ask yourself, can you do that? Dealing with your book. Here's your Macedonian. A Macedonian church that was in poverty. Here's the church. I wonder how they learned this, Tiffany. I wonder how they learned to become so dedicated to the point that they were willing to give of themselves where they could give all their possessions. They had to learn it from somewhere. This is not natural. So they had to learn it from somewhere. Isn't that amazing? The work that the apostles, that Paul has done to a church that has an ear. That has an ear that wants to hear. That don't know where their next meal is coming from. But they got an ear to hear to do what God has called them to do. That's why I said we can make all this, we can say all this noise about, yeah, I'm dedicated. Your fruit speaks different. It says, no, you're not. It says you can be, but you choose not. Can you give yourself, all of yourself, your heart, soul, and mind? Can you give all of yourself to God? Can you do that? Then if you can do that, There is nothing that you won't give to help somebody else. That's your possessions. Then you have the eyes to see where somebody's doesn't have to come to you. You can see they're struggling. And you go to meet the needs. Did you hear me? When you have eyes. Satan is the prince of the air. Watch this. His job is to blind you. His job is to make sure you are convinced that what you're doing is all right with God. You're okay. Because you are a Christian. So you all right? You're a Christian. You watch this. His job is to make you believe you have dedicated yourself to Christ. How about this? His job is to make sure that you dedicate yourself to God. Hold on. Listen to me. You said, yes, because I have dedicated myself to God. He says, you sure have. To me. You sure have. To me. I am a God. So you did dedicate yourself to God. To me. You just too blind to see. I got you believing that you dedicated yourself to the capital G-O-D. But really you dedicated yourself to the little G-O-D. You do just the opposite of what God would have you to do. And you're saying it's A-okay. You don't even realize it. You all catch my drift? You see what's going on? I told you this is some hard stuff to swallow. But watch this. But you don't have to remain like that. You turn that ship around. You can make God number one. It's amazing when we're on our deathbeds, I always said before we can. Well, yeah, we know some God. We know some Jesus now. Brother Thompson, I would love to get on down to the church, but I got 4th stage of cancer, and I can barely get around now. Yeah, I guess who else knows it?
God.
Guess who else gave it? And God allowed it. Remember, and God allowed it. This is how you're going to leave this world. Because you're dedicated. I think I can finally get off this. But that's what I meant by dedicated. Are you truly dedicated to God? Or is it you've been playing games with yourself, telling yourself you're dedicated when in reality you're not? So then watch this.
Like when the Macedonian church probably went to meetings too.
That's what I said. Yeah, and this is what Dwayne was showing. When he went to 2, he went back up there to 2 to get us to understand. Guys, they weren't in poverty. Mine says deep poverty. Okay? They weren't just in poverty. So so watch this. I'm in dire need. This would be, in our minds, focus on ourselves to get out of that situation. But when you dedicate it to God, you give it to God. And watch this, when they gave it to God, watch this, when they gave it to God, they could give. Oh, y'all didn't hear me? And when they gave it to God, they can give. I don't know, Matthew the 5th chapter says, leave your arms at the altar and go back. But leave it. Serve. Do what you're supposed to do for the church. But go and settle that matter. So here's an issue with the Macedonians. We ain't got 50 cents. But I do have a quarter. And I'll give you the quarter. Did you hear me? This is going, in our minds, this is going to break you. Don't we say we trust in God? That's what you're going to hear in my sermon today. We talk about we love us in Jesus. We talk about we're the dedicated souls to God. But our fruit, I told you, here's what we see with fruit. With fruit, we always see, go and make disciples. So that's what we see as fruit. You hear me? Because I think somebody else came to church, so that's fruit. No, fruit is your life stuff. Can you ask somebody to follow you? Can you do that? Will you allow them to follow you? Will you? Or do you look at yourself and say, I got some work to do? Do you look at yourself and say, I got some work? Because I told you, I saw the bumper sticker. Be patient with me. I saw the bumper sticker. He's not finished with me yet.
I used to agree with that.
Me too, me too. When I really think about it. Yes.
Yeah.
God is finished with you. You don't realize it. When you came into Christ, help me, Brother Thompson, Galatians 5:22, he gave you everything you need. Everything you need. Not some things. He gave you, he equipped you with everything you need to go through life.
We have to use it.
What did you say?
All we have to do is use it.
You there? But I can't use it because he ain't real. I can lie to myself all day long and say he's real. But he's not real. I don't know how to empty myself.
It's like we were singing, his yoke is easy.
Oh yeah, Matthew.
Yeah.
28. Come unto me all that are labor and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. My
And we
yoke.
just have to really rely on that. That's what even just goes along with the fruit of the Spirit.
It's there.
We really do it because whatever difficulties we are going through life, our peace comes from that He has equipped us.
Yes, you have
Spirit.
You have that
And we
ability.
can always go to Him and pray to Him, and He's going to take us through it. But we just, it becomes hard to us when we, just like you said, we don't believe it.
I mean,
If we don't make it real. It's real. It's there.
I made a statement to a young lady who I think is very gifted when it comes down to God's word. But I didn't see the gifts being used. I heard the complaints. I heard what's going on in my life. I heard I got to work on some things in my life. And I made a statement to that young lady. If you don't use it, God will take them away. I can't keep giving you something you won't use. We've got to be careful. You heard me bang that issue about being late. God says you don't have to worry about it. I'll make sure that you can be late. Because now you're a walker. I'll make sure you can be late. See, now you got a reason to be late. What I'll do is I'll tamper with your health. So now you got a reason to be late. I didn't say it was still justifiable, but at least you now have a reason. Did you hear me? That's it. Well, that's what I said. If you're wise, you can fight that. But let me say this, because I certainly want you to understand this. There was a group of people that God had made it clear as a bell that they would enter into the promised land. Remember that? Remember that? They was going to enter into the promised land. And they did everything they could to where God finally got tired of talking about them going to the promised land. Then God finally said something to Moses, to Aaron, to Caleb, to Joshua. He finally said, anybody 20 years and older, say you won't enter. Finally got tired of it. He got tired of hearing talking about, yes, I love me some Jesus. Praise His holy name. I love the Lord. He got tired of hearing that. Yeah, but like you said, but he got tired in that. Then Jesus finally sends out a declaration. He says, 20 years and older shall not enter into the promised land. Hold on. Because at 20 years and older, now did everything they could, because they want to go to the promised land. So now they want to do what's right. Don't believe me? Go back and look at numbers. They do everything they can. They want to do everything they can to make things right. When God had to finally send the message, once again, your disobedience. What? Now we want to do what's right. What are you talking about? We want to do what's right. He said, but I already told you, you shall not enter the promised land. I told you to teach your children's. But I told you this is what you to do. You to let them know why you can't cross over. But once again, self kicks in. Oh, no, I want to go. I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to do everything. Then God had to do what? He killed each and every last one of them. He proved his point. You will not cross over. So he killed every last one of them. What are you saying? See, they hollered too that they were dedicated. They hollered too that they would give for the Lord, that they would do for the Lord. And then they complained over and over and over again. And God says, I've had enough. Your famous scriptures, guys, see, Hebrews 10:26. If we continue to sin willfully. I says willfully is, don't you understand, it's a pattern. It's something you do and don't realize that you do it all the time. That's a pattern. That is consistent.
It's a nasty habit.
Yes. And you can watch this, and you don't even see it. And when watch this, and when you, because I told you the prince of the air blinds you. So what do you mean? So what do? I've got to get you to feel like, oh come on, it's really not that bad. You're not going to end up in hell. And so what do? So your consistency is, I'm forever coming late, or I'm not coming when I'm, hear me, or I'm not coming when I've been offended. I don't appreciate the preacher bringing me down. Watch this. When the preacher's not bringing you down, that's the word. That's convicting your heart to get you to look and see. It's you. You're the one. There was another man, as I close. There was another man that, watch this, that was doing wrong. And there was a prophet that came into him. And he said, you know, the man had one little lamb. That's all he had was one little lamb. He said, and someone came in and took that lamb. Did you know that king couldn't finish when he let him finish his thought? That king says, where is he? Kill him. Let's kill him now. And Samuel said, that man is you. Did you hear me? And Samuel says to David, and that man is you. They tell me David tore his clothes. Oh my God. I have sinned. Why? Because the law says adultery requires death. So then what are you saying? Then king, you got to die. But David says he's a man after the heart. I wonder what that meant. David is full of compassion. God knows he's full of compassion. God says, so what I'm going to do, I'll let you live. But you don't understand their consequences. The first one is, first of all, to get you right with a law. See, the law was there. Like, you can't remove that law. There's got to be bloodshed. So that child dies. Because there's got to be bloodshed. That's going to be removed. Then, I keep telling folks, keep living your pattern. David, you got Bathsheba, she's fine and fine. She's a good-looking woman, man, well, you can put her on your arm and everybody thinks, woo, you got a superstar. David, you call hell for the rest of your life. Did y'all hear me? For the rest of your life. Your Bible said that sword shall never depart from his home. I lost a child. My daughter gets raped by my own son. According to the law, he needs to be stoned. But I can't do that because I'm running from my own son who wants my kingdom. There's no rest. There's no rest. That's why I said, we need to really think about what it means to be dedicated to God. I don't say it anymore. Just do it. Just do it. And watch this. And get this word out of your head. T-R-I-E-D or T-R-Y. You know what tense they are. T-R-I-E-D or T-R-Y. One is a trying present tense. The other one is a try past tense. You better get them two out of your head. Because neither one of them are beneficial. Nike hit it and hit it hard and hit it on time. Just do it. They did it. I mean, it was perfect. Just do it. It was perfect for Christians. Are there any statements that need to be made? We stop.